I worked with over 2,500 women in the past 13 years. And I can tell you that most of the weight loss advice that's been given out there, it's not made for Indian women. You're working out, you're exercising and all, and your diet is under control, but yet you're unable to lose weight. And the reason is that the advice is not made for Indian women. It's not made for our hormones. It's not made for our stress. It's not made for our lifestyle. It's not made for our emotions. And definitely not for our food habits. So today I'm sharing 5 tips for weight loss for Indian women. Okay, watch this till the end because tip number 5 is the one that's a game changer. My name is Payal Kanchandani. I am a health and a fitness coach. Since the past 13 years, I have been running my fitness studio in the name of Fitness Mania Studio, which is now an online community where we do hybrid workouts, where we focus on health and nutrition beyond just weight loss. After having worked with thousands of women, I've realized one thing, that weight loss, it's not about calories, or rather, it's not about calories only. It's about your hormones, it's about your lifestyle, it's about your stress, it's about your sleep, it's about what's going in terms of your thoughts and emotions. So these 5 tips, they are not theory, they are actually practiced. What I practice with my clients, what I've practiced with myself as well, and seen a massive change. Let's go straight into it. Tip number 1, stop blaming Indian food. Indian food is not the problem here. Okay, our grandmothers, forefathers and all used to have Indian food. It's not like they were obese. So it's not your dal, chawal, sabzi, roti, ghee that's the problem. The problem is the additional stress. The problem is the lack of sleep. The problem is loaded responsibility. The problem is activity reduced. Did you know that your grandmothers did not have those kind of maids, the ones that you're having now? And the sleep reduced. When you eat too less, the body goes into protective mode. Okay, so you're working out, you're eating less, you may be in calorie deficit, but yet you won't see the body change. So instead of removing all the Indian food from your diet or reducing it drastically, try to add more protein. Try to add more good fats. So you do your A2 organic ghee, you do that. Control your portions, eat earlier in the day. I know there are a lot of people sitting in having dinners pretty late. Switch the time. Make it about your family, include the family. Make your dinners a little more earlier. Indian food can support your fat loss if it's eaten in the right way. Tip number 2, your hormones are running the show. This is the biggest mistake that women can make because they will go on a calorie deficit, they will work out, they may even increase their workouts, but still there's no change because there is a hormonal imbalance, right? It could be thyroid, PCOS, perimenopause, post-pregnancy, post-30s, mid-40s, the body is always changing and your hormonal cycles are changing. Now, if in that hormonal cycles, you are exercising harder, you are dieting more stricter, that's not helping your body because that's going to increase your cortisol levels. So it's obviously going to increase your belly fat. Your insulin is high, so your fat storage becomes high. And when your estrogen changes, your fat distribution changes. I always tell my clients, you cannot out-exercise a hormonal imbalance. But what you can do for better hormonal health is to make sure you get sunlight daily. Make sure you do stress releases practices. This is a game changer because stress not only comes from the external sources, but there's also a lot of stress that you take within that you don't even realize. So focus on your breath work, focus on your nervous system, focus on increasing your protein, focus on getting a good sleep. All these support your hormones. And trust me, post 35, all this is really, really important for you to get your weight on track, for you to be able to release your weight. Tip number 3, movement, not punishment. Now, what do I mean by that? See, as you see the weight gain, say, for hormonal reasons, if you're not able to lose your weight, what would you do? probably like, go stricter on the diet, do more workouts. I sure as hell was, as a health, as a fitness coach, right, since 2012. When I hit perimenopause, I was like, oh my God, what's happening? My weight is going up. And scientifically, what we were taught is, okay, you know what? Calorie deficit, increase your workouts, and the weight's going to go away. But that never happened. I kept increasing weight until I literally crossed over 10 kgs of weight increase, and I was wondering what's happening. I'm exercising more than I was doing in my 20s and 30s. I was much more fitter. I was doing basketball, swimming, yoga, gymming, running, everything, squash. I was doing everything. But the weight wasn't reducing. In fact, the weight was just steadily going up. And that's when I realized that with all of this, I was actually punishing my body. Because when the body is hormonally going through changes, it's already in flight or fight mode. And on top of that, I'm overpowering the body, okay, by doing a lot of workouts. So what do you think happens to the cortisol level? It's going up. And because it's going up, body's under stress mode, fat kept increasing. My belly fat was way off. The body will release weight only if it feels safe. And at that point, what it wasn't feeling was safe. And believe it or not, after dropping more than half of my workouts, changing my workout pattern, working more on nervous system balance and working more on mobility, calming workouts, my weight started to release, dropped 6 kgs already. So focus on simple movements. It's worked for me. It's worked for a lot of my clients. As I said, I have 13 years plus experience when it comes to weight loss, nutrition, and fitness workouts. So the advice that I'm giving you actually works. It's not, some kind of a tip from somewhere. It's basically, I've seen it work with myself. I've seen it work with my clients. I've seen it work in my community, right? So, definitely focus on this one. Focus on movement being medicine, not punishment. By the way, if this is helping you, please subscribe to my channel. I put in a lot of advice for those who are basically into weight release, who really want to release their weight, and especially for Indian women. These are practical tips, tried, tested, experienced. So definitely do subscribe to my channel. Let's move on to tip number 4. Sleep is your secret weapon. Now, this one really surprises a lot of women, because when I consult and, when I'm asking how much do you sleep, and I get a reply that, hey, it's okay. I mean, I sleep less. I'm fine. I feel fine the next day. But, see, that's the thing. That is actually affecting your weight loss, that you really wanted to release that fat. If you sleep less, especially when you're going through a hormonal change, maybe post mid-35s, mid-30, 35 plus, 45, perimenopause, post-pregnancy, all of that, okay? Here's the thing. If you sleep less, okay, the next day, your hunger hormone goes up. Your fullness hormone reduces. Your cortisol goes up. Your cravings increase, your fat burning reduces. And this is what less sleep can do to you. And then you feel, I have no control over my cravings, I have no willpower, and I'm feeling super hungry, and I really want to have sugar or spicy food and all of that. It's just lack of sleep. Most Indian women, they do sleep late because if you're eating late, you're winding up your kitchen late, and then you're focusing on your kids and responsibilities, and then you end up going to bed really, really late. That needs to change, because then your body never recovers. And fat loss happens when your body is in recovery mode. So fix your sleep and half the battle is won. Tip number 5. This one's really important. Address the stress first. Most Indian women are not overweight because of the food. They're overweight because of the stress, the responsibilities, family, kids, husband, work, giving in more, not setting boundaries, not taking time for your health, for yourself, not giving the self-love that you deserve. your body stays into survival mode. Now, if your body is in survival mode, it compromises your nervous system balance, which means that unless your body feels safe, it will not let go of the fat. The body holds on to fat as a mode of protection. Now, you want to let the fat go, you need to focus on keeping the body safe. And one of the first things that you need to address is your stress. Because stress will affect your cravings, stress will affect your hormones, stress affects your energy, stress affects your hunger. And then women end up blaming themselves that, they're just not able to lose weight. And I always tell my clients, right, before we fix the diet, before we fix the workout, let's fix the nervous system first. And that's exactly what I teach in my community. Take 10 minutes out for yourself every single day. Sit in silence, walk alone, journal, do your gratitude, do Om chants, focus on your breath work. So small, slow, deep breathing. Pray. Sit and have your, chai peacefully. Take the time for yourself. It's not luxury to have time for yourself. It's necessity. This is all a part of fat loss. So if you are a Indian woman in your 30s, 40s, 50s and you're not able to release your weight, it's not because you're lazy, it's because you're following a plan that's not designed for your body. Once you support your hormones, once you change your lifestyle and you calm the body, you will see the fat slowly going off. It's a journey and it takes time. And the best part is that if you do it together with women who are in the same boat as you, who push you, who are accountable, it's a different way of doing it. You can go faster if you're alone, but you can go further if you're in a community. And that's exactly what I teach in my program. I help women step by step in my 90-day transformation challenge, and then you can repeat that multiple times in the year because, hey, it's a journey. It's not like, you're going to transform completely in 90 days. Maybe you manage 60-70%. There's still more work to be done. Ideally, it's a lifelong journey, right? And then it doesn't stop at weight release alone. But yes, it definitely starts with it because you change your habits. You change your sleep pattern. You focus on stress. It may not happen the first time, the second time, but trust me, when you're surrounded by people, who's just consistently doing this, because it's not the intensity, it's the consistency that matters. And the person that you become in the process of your weight release is a different experience altogether. If you'd like to be a part of my community, you can join my webinar. The link is in the caption. I hope this has helped. Share it with someone who really, really needs to understand their body better and who really needs help in releasing weight. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.